The funniest part about this is like people keep thinking when I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at
you're
notes,
just and
it's like, nah, I'm like directing, I'm like moving stuff. I'm like
that, or you're just like just totally out of it,
or I'm like text messaging.
Yeah,
I'm like doing my own Facebook live stream like Antonio Brown. Thank you for tuning in to the On Blast podcast. Where as always, we just like to give you our thoughts.
It's just my thoughts, man.
Right or wrong, just what we're feeling at the time. For those who don't know, which I assume if you're taking time to listen to us two jackasses, know what the storyline is.
I do have beef.
He's doing Facebook Live in the locker room post game on Sunday.
When your coach starts talking, don't you give it a rest? Don't you hit stop? I don't know. Like, listen, I only played football until like 10th, 11th grade, but I knew that when my coach was talking, I was not doing anything else other than listening.
So
now I was not as good as Antonio Brown. Listen, as left guard, I was not.
But here's the one thing with Antonio Brown and comparing it to, you know, like how we even consider how we played football or how we consider ourselves within the realm of our own jobs. He is way more valuable to what the Steelers do,
true.
Meaning like he can get away with a lot more. So to me, this whole thing was just, he doesn't care, right? Like there's zero fucks given because there's a level of like, you know, hey, we just won. This is great. I'm going to talk to my fans now and show my fans, hey, I'm cool. And I don't agree with that. I don't get it. I'm not claiming to get it, but the generation below us lives off social media. Their lives are social media. I got to post what I eat. I got to post what I just bought. I got to post where I'm going, where I'm coming from, what time I wake up. Everything is a show. They all think that they have their own personal reality show. And I think that that's what Antonio Brown got caught up in. And you can see the line in the sand where there's a full generation of people that don't get that at all. And I'm part of that.
I'm starting to get
part of that.
There,
I'm part of the old man, get off my lawn type thing.
But I think with guys like Antonio Brown, the guys that we understand as being big on social media, is that it really starts with their performance.
For sure.
Like Nick Stauskas could be the best tweeter out there, but we're not going to know because he's not capturing our attention with what he does on the field.
It's true. Antonio Brown's business is booming because on the field, his business is booming, right? And so that's also why he's able to get away with what he's doing, because you have one side of people who are going to get and understand the need that, oh, I just did something big. I got to go right to social media and let everyone else know how great I'm feeling right now, right? Like that's something that we can't really relate to. But when you see it on their level, it's like, oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Like when something good happens, there's a generation that their first response is to share it on social media and not to savor the moment and enjoy what's going on.
I don't have a lot of filter on what I say.
Yeah.
But if I ever filmed myself getting a haircut for 40 minutes, at some point in the back of my head, I would say I'd be narcissist. I'm a narcissist.
So explain what you're talking about now, because that just happened earlier.
So Antonio Brown apparently was 40 minutes late to his media availability for the AFC Championship game.
His media availability in which he was supposed to apologize for his Facebook Live
post. About the locker room Facebook Live post.
Yeah.
So he's 40 minutes late. Why was he 40 minutes late? Because he was getting a haircut. Why do we know he was getting a haircut? Because he was Facebook Living himself.
No, he was Snapchat. Wrong medium. Come on, Belichick.
Get off my yard. Get off my yard.
He was Snapchatting.
He was face swapping, jack chatting. I don't know what he was doing. But he was getting a haircut instead of showing up.
And the part that we don't get or we can't relate to is that they get rewarded as a professional athlete, where in normal life, the me is like a bad thing.
Right.
They actually get rewarded for the, hey, look at me. I get a touchdown. I'm going to dance. We're going to play that highlight.
And you're going to put me on the intro of Sunday Night Football.
Exactly.
But so what do you do if you're a coach? What do you do if you're Tomlin?
You hope that you keep winning and you shut your mouth. Tomlin, though, the one thing for Tomlin is he had to come out and play the tough guy role. Right?
Absolutely. No,
I totally get.
I don't think he had to. I think he wanted to. I think that if it was up to him, he'd sit him.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Not
a chance. Tomlin doesn't have that.
If it was Jesse James,
okay,
the backup tight end
For sure.
And Jesse James, or even worse, the third string offensive tackle. Same thing happens, and he's filming Facebook Living Tomlin's post-game speech before they're on to New England. Yeah, he's not playing next game.
For sure. But therein lies another lesson for, I feel like a real old man right now.
I really mean me.
I was going to say, like,
I hear my dad's words coming out of my mouth, you know?
No, but what I was going to say is, here's another lesson in the sense of that we need to learn sometimes, right? Like, life isn't fair. So there are things that certain people can get away with that others can't. So is it fair that Antonio Brown might be able to get away with Facebook Living and he's going to get maybe reprimanded behind the scenes or whatever? Whereas if that was a third string kicker, that guy would get kicked off the team. Is that fair? No, of course not.
Forget
but
about
that's also
fair.
life. Do you know why? Because again, on the field, business is booming.
You can't tell me that fair being one thing or the other. You can't tell me that Tomlin wasn't just pissed when that video came out.
For sure he was.
Just not only are you giving,
he could have said so. It could have been way worse.
Not only are you giving New England bulletin board material for the biggest game of the year, but you've got a guy filming what you're. I would think that would be the biggest thing. Like,
yeah, like
taping our post-game comments. Like, it's such an intimate conversation between the team. That's what I would be. And again, because I'm an old man, and that's I know what you mean, I have love for the sanctity of the game.
No, I know what you mean though. Like, in the sense that in the grand scheme of things, we should all, like, if you're going to be mad at him for something, it probably should be the fact that you're not paying attention to what's going on. Right. Like, I was talking to someone earlier today and I was referencing it to, you know what it reminded me of? The kid in the back of the class that's like sharing notes or passing notes in the back of the class.
Do you have something to share, Andrew?
Exactly.
With the whole class?
Right. So it's like, it was something like that. Like, and I think the rest of his teammates, because I think it was Ryan Clark I was listening to on ESPN radio. Yeah. And he obviously used to play with the Steelers, so he clearly has ties still to the team, probably has boys still in the locker room, whatever. And the way that he was talking about it, it was kind of in a way that it was like, oh, that's just AB. That's just him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of know his shtick. They know his gimmicks. They know what he's about, type of thing. And you got to just like brush it off like, oh, that's little brother. That's just what he does. Yeah. But the other part of this I wanted to bring up was your boy Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, yeah. I saw that quote.
He said it perfectly, though. He's like, hold on. Who's Ben Roethlisberger out here trying to tell like how you should or shouldn't behave?
What was the quote? The quote was absolutely ridiculous. It was like, hey, you know, if I only want to have to tell him one time or something like, this is big gray dick Ben Roethlisberger, okay? Guy who's been forcing himself on women for a God's age, you know? But and like, this guy is now, you're going to be the moral compass of this team? That rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.